Kiss, kiss for love. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, it's Laura, and today I'm going to be showing you how you can make your very own Usa-chan Bun Bun plushie from the anime/manga Ouran High School Host Club. Wow. So first things first, happy Valentine's Day. If you don't have a Valentine, I'm your Valentine now. Lucky you. Usa-chan is Honey-senpai's favorite plush toy. There are several reasons why I wanted to do this for my Valentine's Day video. The first being, well, Valentine's Day is just the most host applicable holiday, meaning the host club is always about treating your guest and kiss kiss fall in love, and maybe I can find a hand like yours to take mine, choosing a rose in this garden of romance. All of those aspects of the host club translate especially well to Valentine's Day. The second reason being that Mitsukuni Haninazuka's birthday is actually on February 29th, and guess what 2020 is? It's leap year. So that means Honey-senpai is finally celebrating another birthday. Congratulations, honey, you're going to grow 1 more inch. It's probably still going to be the shortest out of all of the host club members though. The third reason, which is honestly the most applicable reason, I didn't even know that Ouran High School Host Club existed until this past January. My entire January was just spent hyperfixating on Ouran High School Host Club, because what else should you do for the month of January when the world is literally going to shit? You might as well read the most funny,
I'm sorry,
romantic, cutesy
Well, I like them all. I love anything chocolate, Usa-chan, and all of you ladies.
manga out there. The first thing that I did after I finished the anime was I went onto Amazon and I literally bought the entire manga series, which is 18 volumes, reading roughly about 1 every day. I finished in just a couple of weeks. Of course, when you're out of content, you have to make your own content, and that is what I'm showing you guys how to do today. So that's enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and I'll show you how to make your very own Usa-chan Bun Bun plushie.
Usa-chan Bun Bun plushie DIY. So first of all, hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. I'm so excited for it. I've been spending so long editing, trying to get it the standard of Ouran High School Host Club aesthetic, so let me know if I succeeded in doing that. But the first thing that we're going to start off with is a pattern. For most things that I make, I just go ahead and make my own pattern as well, usually because I either don't like the patterns that are available, or I don't have a way to get them, or might as well just make it myself. I'm going to show you in depth on how I make patterns just because I find it useful, and if you want to make your own pattern, then I highly recommend that you start trying to do so. So the first thing that I do when I'm making a plushie or some sort of sewing project is I just sketch out the way I want my character to look in my book. This just kind of reaffirms my ideas on the proportions of the character and gives me a predisposition to the types of pattern pieces that I'll need. So you can make pattern pieces out of a variety of different paper materials. I like using this kind of brown paper bag material. It's thin and it's darker than wax paper or something, so it's easier for me to see what I'm drawing on it. For things that require symmetry, like a plushie doll for example, I always draw my patterns on the fold so that when I fold them out, I can get a good idea of what my fabric is going to look like when I cut it out. And in this example, I found the body piece just a tad bit too wide, so I just trimmed it up a bit. Now, a trick for making sure that all of your pattern pieces actually fit together is to use string as a measuring tool, and to also cut out your pattern pieces right next to each other, like I'm doing with the head right on top of the body. I'm using the string as a measuring tool to measure the length of the armhole, and then I'm going to use that length from the string to sketch out how wide I want my arm pattern piece to be. Bun Bun has pretty simple legs and arms. They are basically just cylinders. I'm making a rectangle because that is the shape of a cylinder minus the two faces. And the arms are actually a little bit wider at the end of them rather than at the shoulder. So I'm making it more of an angled rectangle, which I believe is called a trapezoid. Now to make the paws, which are just circles for the cylinders, just do like some basic math. You can look up what size to make a circle given the length of your cylinder. I'm not going to go into that, but it involves pi and, you know, all that stuff. So that's how you make the paw pieces. They're just circles. And then I just sketched out a design for an ear, pretty simple. You can do any kind of ear shape you want. I put a slight little kink in it.
If you want to, you can pay me back with your body.
Because I wanted it to have more of an organic shape. So these are the pattern pieces. Feel free to pause the video here to sketch them out on your own. I'll also try to upload them somewhere so that you could maybe print them out, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it to scale. I'm going to be using Minky. Minky is, I think, probably my favorite type of fabric, at least in plushie making. Minky is a very, very soft fur-like fabric that gives off a very luxurious feel. It has a definite grain, so if you swipe one side, it's going to look all smooth, and if you swipe the other side, it's going to look ruffled. It's important when we're laying our pattern pieces on here to make sure that we're laying them down in a way so that when we cut them out, the fur will be going in the right direction, which is usually downwards. To ensure symmetry, once again, fold a bit of Minky over and then place your pattern pieces on top of the Minky, and then you can cut along your pattern pieces so that when you unfold them, you will have a complete piece. So then I just proceeded to cut the rest of my pattern pieces. In the end, you should have 4 ears, 2 arms, both on the fold, 2 foot paws, 2 legs on the fold, 2 head pieces, 2 arm paws, 2 body pieces. The Bun Bun plush has a very doll aesthetic. To kind of complement that, I'm going to be doing French seams on the body and the headpiece. This is purely optional, but I like the aesthetic that it gives. You fold your piece wrong sides together, which is usually what you don't do in sewing. I'm going to sew down the middle, leaving about a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Then I'm going to flip my piece open. Then I'm going to top stitch on the right side, making sure that I pick up the seam allowance from the other side. When you're done, you should have basically 2 parallel lines running down the middle of your body pieces. I did this for the body pieces and for the head pieces. Next, I assembled the ears, so pretty straightforward. You just put both of your ear pieces right sides together and sew along the edges. Because the ears have more pointy edges in certain places, make sure that before you flip them inside out, you just clip those corners nice and sharp. The arms and the legs are pretty much just cylinders, so what you can do for this is just begin at one end of your cylinder piece and begin stitching your circle on there. However, every couple stitches, lift up your presser foot and pivot it a little bit just so that you can start going around and get the other sides of the circle. If you do this right, then your arm and leg tubes will curl up to form your cylinder. Sew a straight stitch down the side to close up your tube. The body is pretty straightforward. You're just going to sew across the shoulders, sew down the sides, and then sew in the crotch region. Keeping your body inside out, you are just going to get your arms and legs. With them right side out, you're going to put them inside of the body through the little cavities that we left for them, and then blanket stitch all around. Being sure to line up your arm seams with your side seams on the body. So same thing with the head, just sew down all sides of the head, but leave space open at the neck region and for the 2 ears. Keeping your head inside out, you can take your right side out ear, place it inside of the head just through one of the ear holes, and then we're just going to stitch around the whole ear hole. After you sew both of your ears through the holes, then you can flip your head inside out. I'm going to be using safety eyes. After you stick the eye through the fabric, then you can put the cap on the end and it will just secure it right in place. And of course, with all of my plushies, I always include a little heart with a secret message or something on the inside. I don't know if the actual Bun Bun plush or the Bun Bun character has a tail. I think he does, and I think it might just be pink, but I wanted to add a little bit more color to my plushie, so I'm going to be using this super soft, fluffy, white faux fur fabric that I have. All you have to do is cut a circle and then sew a gathering stitch along the edges, pull them tight so that the circle closes up into a sphere. Then you can stitch it onto the base of your plushie. The Bun Bun also has a very adorable embroidered mouth. I wanted to add just a little bit more color, so I chose this burgundy wine red color. And I'm just going to be embroidering a very simple stitch onto the face of the plushie. One of my favorite finishing touches ever on a plushie are Bun Bun's adorable blushy cheeks. I'm going to be using real blush for this, real eyeshadow. You can also use soft pastels. I'm just getting this, I don't even know, I'm not a makeup guru. I don't know what kind of brush this is. It's like a hybrid between a flat and a round brush, an oval brush maybe. Just get a nice rosy pink color, and then I'm just going to very lightly put a little bit of rosy blush onto our adorable doll. I'm going to be setting the powder with some NYX Finishing Studio powder. Then I'm just going to be getting the tiniest bit of hairspray and just spraying just a tiny bit onto the blush in the powdered area. And with the completion of the blush on our bunny, I do believe that we are officially finished.
Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you found it useful if you were looking to make your own Usa-chan Bun Bun plushie, especially if you were going to do a Honey-senpai cosplay. I would love to see that. Who is your favorite host in the host club? That is what I want to know. So please tell me in the comments down below which host is your favorite. I am a basic bitch. I know I am. It is what it is. But my favorite host is Tamaki. I mean, he's the princely type. You can't go wrong with the princely type. Though I do have a very, very big soft spot in my heart for Hikaru and Kaoru, the twins. Yes, I know that they're two separate people. That's like a whole story arc, but both of them have their own individual soft spots in my heart, so take that. As always, if you want to see what other crazy crafts and creations I get up to because of my current hyperfixation, please feel free to subscribe down below. If you make this plushie, please send me pictures of him. I definitely would like to see it, and I will see you with a new video soon. Bye!